On this episode of Simply, we head to the site of one of the most famous unsolved murders in American history. Then we scare up some delicious coffee creations at Presto Strange O. Chef Nick carves up some pumpkins for a filling fall feast. And we sail through Providence's spooky past on a haunted boat ride. Simply is brought to you by Cranston's Wines and More and Dr. Eric George and Associates. Hey folks, welcome to Simply. I'm your host, Becky Gibble, and I'm coming to you today from Fort Wetherill, one of the most haunted spots in New England. Now for our October episode, you'd think we'd go with a Halloween theme. But here at Simply, we thought that was a little on the nose, so we're doing everything fall. I'm so sorry. Alex, can you come here for a second? I have this weird pain on my neck that...
It looks like a bite.
Huh. Should I go to break?
Yeah, go to break.
Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Next up, we head to the site of one of the most gruesome murders in American history, the Lizzie Borden House. It's now open for tours, or you can stay overnight at the bed and breakfast, if you dare.
Hi, I'm Jared Robinson, the Lizzie Borden House and U.S. Ghost Adventures. We're here at the famous Lizzie Borden House in Fall River, Massachusetts. Let's go take a look inside. Welcome to the front parlor of the Lizzie Borden House. This room has some significance here. Number one, it's where Lizzie is sat down and she finds out that she is the prime suspect in this case. And number two, it's where the bodies are waked, and it was open casket. So we're standing here in the sitting room where Andrew Borden would come in for his last nap, and unfortunately would be murdered in this room. They're thinking about 10 to 11 blows to the head with what we think is a hatchet. We don't actually really know what the murder weapon is, believe it or not. So we're in the dining room. This is actually where Abby's autopsy was performed, and I know that sounds kind of weird by today's standards, but it was a common practice at the time. We actually do feature photos of the autopsies here at the house. They are pretty grisly as well, but they tell a tale in their own way. We are standing here in the guest room where Uncle John Morse stayed the night before the murders on August 3rd. This is the room where Abby Borden would go up to tidy up on the morning of August 4th, and unfortunately, an unknown assailant would come here with what we think is a hatchet and deliver about 19 blows to the back of the head. It makes you think crime of passion. That's what's captured the attention of audiences for over a century. A lot of folks who come through the house think Uncle John had something to do with it, but we never will know. This is Lizzie's room. It's a nice bedroom by today's standards, but let's think of it this way. She's an adult woman. She's sharing a bedroom with her adult sister. Their father and stepmother are in the door just on the other side of the room. And they don't have running water, they don't have toilets, and they don't have electricity in here. For what Lizzie was enduring as a woman of wealth, they were living well below their means. This was Andrew and Abby Borden's bedroom. So this is a comfortable room for guests to stay overnight, and it's not uncommon for guests to leave change behind. Andrew had kind of developed a reputation of being cheap, frugal. So our guests who stay overnight to please his spirit will leave change for him. But it's the brave guests who will take the change that may have some strange experiences that follow them afterwards. So we're here on the third floor of the house, which has been renovated. It's a comfortable stay for most of our guests. It's often referred to as one of the most haunted places in the house. But let's talk about who really lived up here in the 1890s. That would have been Bridget Sullivan. She was an Irish Catholic immigrant who worked as a maid for the Borden family. She actually testifies on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Borden against Lizzie. But Bridget herself was home on August 4th, 1892. She's not really a suspect in this case for very long, but I definitely have some questions. You might be asking yourself, why are we still talking about this? Why did this capture the nation's attention? And why do people from around the world still come to this house? I think this has to do with the unsolved nature of it. We still don't know what happened 130 years later. We're still asking those questions. We still want to know who did this.
Man, it is so bright out today. God, I feel like I'm roasting. If you're looking for some of the tastiest brews in New England, all you have to do is say the magic words. Presto Strange O.
My name is Jessica Case, and this is Presto Strange O Coffee.
Presto Strange O is a sort of all-encompassing cafe, bakery, breakfast and lunch hangout. We started as a food truck about 12 years ago, and we transitioned into the cafe about a year ago.
We actually live in this neighborhood, so we were very excited when we had the opportunity to finally open up a brick and mortar.
It's always been a dream to have our own shop, so this is it. This is our fun shop.
Initially with our truck, we were known for all of our interesting specialty lattes. We do a lot of fun things with toppings and flavors, and it's something that people come here especially for. In terms of drinks, we do a coffee milk latte, which has been pretty much our standard signature drink since we started the truck. So we've carried that over here. We do a Nutella latte, which is also delicious and very popular. And then we try to mix it up each week with fun specials. And now that we've expanded into a coffee shop, we do a lot of breakfast items and lunch.
Our food menu, I feel, is fantastic. We've got a lot of options for food.
You know, I really like the avocado toast. Everyone loves it. It's really good.
We offer all sorts of things: donuts, muffins, pastries, just about everything. So we have an awesome crew. I absolutely love everyone that works here. They're all so friendly. Something that we get complimented for a lot is our customer service.
It's great. They've made their mark here at Wallach Neck. Everybody loves them. Everybody knows them. And they know everybody who comes in. They call them by first name when they come in.
A lot of the customers here are our neighbors, and they've become friends as well. So it's a very nice family kind of vibe here.
It is my go-to place. I love it. The people are the best. It's like a family. I mean, the shop is so cute. It's just got like a whole vibe to it, and you feel at home here.
A lot of people just love coming in visually. That's the first thing they say is, oh, it's so beautiful and it's unique. We tried to make it different here. We knew that something was missing here, and that it was a very large neighborhood that didn't have much. But even knowing that, we're still very surprised at our volume.
It's never really a slow time. I thought there would be, but it's just been fantastic all day, every day.
God, my teeth feel oddly sharp. We'll be right back. Ow. Keep on Cookin' is brought to you by Cranston's Wines and More.
Can you guys just give me a second? Next up, Nick Rabar cooking food.
Happy October, everybody, and welcome to Keep On Cooking. It's your old pal, Nick Rabar, here to make a quintessential fall dish, and that is gnocchi with sugar pumpkin and brown butter sauce. To get started, we're gonna go in with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And once that's hot, we're gonna go in with some broccoli rabe, which is a incredible fall ingredient. And because it looks a little lonely in that pan, we're gonna give it some friends. Let's go with a little bit of chopped garlic and a touch of chopped shallot. And we'll give that a little stir because we do not want that garlic or those shallots to burn. Let's go ahead and season, as we do every step of the way, with a little bit of salt and a touch of fresh cracked pepper. Okay, now that that is cooked, we're gonna get it out of the pan so that when we add other ingredients, it doesn't overcook. And one star ingredient that goes perfect with this pasta is applewood bacon. Very thick cut. That's gonna add a lot of smokiness. You know, smokiness, especially at this time of year, is perfect with almost any dish. This is getting crispy, and it's looking great, and it's smelling even better. So we're gonna get it out of there. And there's a reason behind all of this madness, and you're gonna see that right about now when we go in with butter. Now, brown butter, it is some crazy stuff. It can go from brown to burnt real quick, and we're gonna have to pay a lot of attention to this. So over here, eyes down here. Okay, now we'll turn the heat down and go in with some all-purpose flour. This is gonna make a roux. And that is why we turn down the heat, because at this point, you've got flour, you've got brown butter, things could burn. So you wanna control your heat. Okay, so brown butter roux is not a sauce. So we need to turn this into a sauce. I'm gonna add some chicken broth, and you can hear that sizzle. And it's gonna thicken up like gravy at this point. And let's go ahead and switch utensils from spoon to whisk and add some heavy cream. So the reason why we're adding the broth and we're adding in the cream is to mild out that intense brown butter flavor. Especially once you add the flour, that roux can be a little bit bitter. These ingredients are gonna help it balance out, and I think balance is what it's all about. This sauce looks like it's perfect consistency. It's not too thin, not too thick, and it's what we call nappe. And nappe means it coats the back of a spoon. And now that the sauce is done, we're gonna start to go in with all of the cooked stuff to make this dish complete. Let's start by going in with the star of the show, and that is the sugar pumpkin. And when you are shopping for pumpkin to cook with, you definitely want sugar pumpkin. Some are decorative, some are for carving. This is sweet, it's gonna caramelize really nice and have a nice, mild, gentle flavor. Give that a little mix. Return in with our rabe. Back with our applewood bacon. And that's our primary texture of this dish. And how about some white beans? I mean, what the heck, we haven't talked about them, but they're just hanging out, so in they go. And you can see those colors. I mean, that is autumn right there in a bowl. Of course, we have to season. We're gonna go with some salt, even though a lot of these things have been seasoned as we went, but still, a little at the end goes a long way. And that is pretty much it, except for, of course, what we came here for, and that is the gnocchi. This is my personal handmade gnocchi that I do at the restaurants all the time. It's a nice neutral potato gnocchi. And once that's in there, heat it all the way through, you're gonna have yourself a winner right here. So we're gonna give it a little bit of fresh herbs. Chopped parsley is the herb du jour. We're gonna give it a little Parmesan cheese, just for some salty umami flavor. I like it to be in there as well as on top. Mix that up, and we are ready to plate. I'm gonna go on with some Parmesan cheese, fresh herb, and a little more Parmesan, because can't go wrong. And boom, there it is, gnocchi with sugar pumpkin and brown butter sauce. That's a wrap, everybody. And you know I never eat on the show, but this one is just too good to pass up on. Thanks for joining me, guys, and as always, you keep on cooking. That's an order. Oh.
Well, that was delicious. They say the rivers of Providence are haunted. Let's find out for ourselves.
So my name is Tom McGinn, and along with my wife Kristen, we own and operate the Providence Riverboat Company and the Landing PVD, which is our store here at 101 Dyer Street. We have gifts here for tourists, some ice cream, and it's a great place to check in and get people onto the river. And when this building was built, the water was right there. This was a pier, and it would pull ships up against this building and use it for warehousing and maybe some retail space on the first floor. The address looks straight at what would have been the historic port of Providence. You can imagine tall ships lined up along the riverbanks here. As recently as the 1930s and 40s, steamships and passenger vessels will pull right up into this area. The tour that's happening tonight is a Providence Ghost Tour. We partner with the Providence Ghost Tour Company, and they come aboard the boat and they tell stories about some of the things that people have seen in some of the buildings downtown.
I'm Courtney Edge Mattis. I'm the owner of Providence Ghost Tour. It carries us right through the downtown, right at sunset. So you've got these beautiful lights coming up. Providence has this sort of natural air of mystery, and so it just lends the perfect scene for our tour.
And it gives the city a certain ambiance and air, especially from the water, that you don't get from just walking around on some of the streets.
Providence has a lot more than meets the eye. You know, we're a very beautiful city just to enjoy, but if you dig a little more deeply, you get this little underbelly that just draws you in, and we have these stories that are hiding in plain sight, and so that's what we uncover each evening.
Welcome, welcome to the Ghost Tour. My name is Clay. I will be your tour guide this evening on this lovely river here. Gonna tell lots of fun, ghosty, spooky stories, so just prepare yourselves for those.
The stories come from the people that live here and the people that are experiencing them. And so I get the privilege of hearing people share these active hauntings with us. You don't have to believe in the paranormal to really have a wonderful time, because you're learning about humanity. It's really about that connectivity that we have that defies time, it defies decades. It's all about the human connection. It's kind of romantic. These ghosts within Providence are so prevalent. We're very fortunate to have a wonderfully haunted city to enjoy here. So yes, dark history, mystery, scary, also really beautiful.
We'll be right back. Bats play an important role in our global ecosystem. They eat insects and agricultural pests, but they can also carry rabies. So, we've got a few tips when it comes to dealing with our upside-down sleeping friends. Unlike vampires, bats don't need an invitation to come into your home. So closely examine your house for holes that might give bats entry. Use window screens, chimney caps, and draft guards under the door to your attic. If you think your pet has been exposed to a bat, contact a vet or the health department immediately and have the bat tested for rabies. This is why it's so important to keep your pet's vaccinations up to date. If a bat bites you, wash the affected area thoroughly with soap and water and seek medical advice immediately. When possible, capture the bat and have it sent to a lab for rabies testing. If a bat is present in your house and you can't rule out exposure, contact the RIDEM for assistance. Henry, do you think that's what happened to us? To learn more, visit health.ri.gov.
Much better. You know, there was something a little bit different about our friend Nick. And I'm still hungry.
Well, Henry, I guess we're in it for the long haul. We'll see you in the shadows. Simply is brought to you by Cranston's Wines and More and Dr. Eric George and Associates.